عادات النجاح السبعة, the 7 habits of the highly effective people. We discussed 4 so far, and tonight inshallah with the 5th quickly. Quick revision for what we discussed so far. العادة الأولى, to be successful and to be highly effective, be proactive. Number 2, begin with an end in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Have a goal for everything that you're doing. Number 3, first things first. Have priorities for your life and start with the most important things and focus on the most important things. Number 4, think when, which is be able to think of the needs of the other people and try to be considerate to this too. Number 5, tonight inshallah, a very important habit for successful people: seek to understand before you are understood. Seek to understand before you are understood. Communication is one of the important things in life. Try to imagine life without communication. Try to think of yourself in a certain country, certain place where you cannot understand what they are saying. They cannot understand you. There is no medium, there is no way of communication. You can always have the basic level of communication through sign language or something, but try to imagine, try to think of those who are born mute, deaf, they cannot hear, they cannot speak. Usually, even though we have so many schools and so many ways to deal with them, but usually when you deal with those people, you feel they are kind of easy to get angry. It's not that they are bad or anything, but they are trying to communicate, but they are unable. Try to think of yourself, you are unable to communicate. So communication is so important. We see al-hiwar, communication in the Quran, and so many times. All the prophets, they are having, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us not only that this prophet was sent to those people were bad, they didn't listen to him, so they are punished. It was not like this. Read the story of Shu'aib, Ya qawmi, and he was communicating, all my people, and then he is putting a point. They are getting back to him, and then he is getting back to them. You see like whole pages. Sayyidina Lut talking to his people, Sayyidina Muhammad talking to his people, and it's going back and forth. Not only prophets, even two men talking to each other, and it's taken like more than 1 page in Surah Al-Kahf, 2 people communicating. So al-hiwar, or communication, is so important. But communication is not one way, it's two-way thing. You have to understand and you need to be understood. Both of them are important. You don't want to focus on one side and leave the other. It's so important to be understood, to make sure that you are understood. People will not be able to know what's inside you, what are you about, what do you want, unless you make yourself clear. So many times we take it for granted, like people will understand, people will know. No, you need to make yourself so much clear. Not just to say something quick, you have to make yourself so much clear. What's your intention? What do you want? Make yourself so clear. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at all times of miscommunication or misunderstanding, he will make sure that he is so clear. One time at night, he is walking on the street with a lady that's covered, completely covered. Well, this is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 2 companions met him in the street. She is completely covered with the full veil. So what would they think? And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam stopped them in the spot. They said, "Ala rislikuma innaha Safiya." Hold on. They tried, when they saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam walking with the lady, they tried to pass by quickly or something. So he said, "Stop there. This is Safiya, my wife." They said, "Ya Rasulullah, do you think we will think bad of you or anything?" He said, "No. يعني إن الشيطان يجري من ابن آدم مجرى الدم وخشيت أن يقذف في قلبكما شيئا." يعني Shaitan is as close to human beings as blood running in your vessels, and I was afraid that you will misunderstand or you will think something. So make yourself so clear. When we communicate, use the best words, be straight to the point, do not go right and left. Make sure that you are so clear to present yourself and to make it easy for others to understand you. But before that, if you want others to understand you, actually, you have to understand others. Here comes the problem. Many times we listen to others, or we hear others, but we do not listen to them. Somebody is trying to communicate with us, trying to make a point for us. Somebody is trying to make a point for us, but we are actually busy focusing on words. You might misuse some words or something, you focus on words. Or you focus in how to reply. Or you focus on what you want to focus on. He has a whole point to make, and you just focus on this part. You are selective. You select what you hear from his talk. Is that really the point that he is making or she is making? Is he making that speech to focus on? Was this the point? Actually, this is what you want to understand. So you didn't get the whole point. You didn't get the point of this person. So let's try to understand others. How to understand others? The first way to understand is what? Let me give an example. We learn, when we were so young in schools, we learn what? What do we learn? We learn reading. We learn speaking, even before going to school. We learn to talk. Our mom teaches us, school, when we go to school, they teach us how to read, how to write. So we learn reading, study, we get some training for reading, writing, speaking. We get courses in the schools at certain levels or at various levels, but how many of us get any kind of training whatsoever about listening? Probably not even a single person, probably, just guessing. We do not get any course, any training as far as listening, even though it's not less of importance than reading, writing, listening to in the sama wal-basar wal-fu'ad. Indeed, hearing and eyesight and fu'ad, all of that you will be questioned about. So we have to learn the listening skills, as-sam', yulqoon as-sam', not only to hear, to listen, to make sure that you get the point. Make sure you exert some effort to understand what the other person is saying, what your son is trying to say. Do not focus on the first part of the speech and then say, I got it. It happened to me before. And no, you didn't get it. How many times we judge? We might be judgmental when we hear. So if you hear the first part of the speech and you make the judgment already that, oh yeah, that's the point he's trying to make. And sometimes it happens to us that we are wrong. When you listen to the end of it, oh yeah, no. I didn't get it. I was. So why is this happening? Because you're listening selectively. You're listening to what you want. You're listening with the intention to reply. You're listening and taking everything and judging everything based on your own experiences. No, you have to. When you speak, you have to understand the level of the person in front of you. And when you listen to the others, you have to know also come down or go up to their perspective so you'll understand what they are saying. حدثوا الناس على قدر عقولهم. When you speak, you need to speak, communicate to the level of the people in front of you. سيدنا علي رضي الله عنه يقول حدثوا الناس على قدر عقولهم أتحبون أن يكذب الله ورسوله. When you speak to people, you speak to the level of the people you speak to. Speak something they can understand. Do you want people to deny what Allah and His Messenger are bringing? Because if you speak to somebody something that he cannot get, then this is a problem. They can't get it, so they will say there's something wrong in there. Same thing when you are trying to understand. Try to get the point from the perspective of this person. Do not be judgmental. Do not make sure you understand. You 100% understand. Ask questions, and then after you fully understand, you make your point. And don't make the intention is to just interrupt people and try to get your point across. And this is your main point. You're trying to interrupt and make. And you talk and you try to get others to listen to you. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was listening to Al-Walid ibn al-Mughira, or Abu al-Walid. He said, the person was talking to him. He is actually one of his enemies or one of the people who refused to listen to him. And he was coming with a message from the people of Quraysh. And he was talking to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for so long. And he is giving him an offer, so many offers. And then he's almost like done what he's done. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam يقول له أفرغت يا أبا الوليد? Are you done? Abu al-Walid, are you done? So he made sure that he listened to him, he got his point fully, completely, before he will start والسلام, to make his point or to make things clear for him. Two-way course, that's communication. We need to understand what your wife is trying to say, what your patient is trying to say, what your friend is trying to say, what your son, what your child is trying to say. Get the point and understand it, because this will be the key for you to reply or to make yourself also understood and to communicate with them. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يعطينا وإياكم الفهم وحسن الاستماع وحسن إيصال الأفكار لبعضنا إن شاء الله. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the best. May Allah give us, make us good listeners and make us good communicators. And may Allah subhanahu سبحانه وتعالى يتقبل منا ويحسن ختامنا ويرفعنا في اعلى درجات النعيم. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه اجمعين. جزاكم الله خيرا.